All right, folks, we are hanging out in Toronto today with Morgan Wallen. He is on tour currently with Florida Georgia Line. How does that feel, buddy?
Man, it's pretty cool. They're actually one of my favorite country bands, starting out when I started out. And my mom, back in the day, before I even had a record deal or anything, I guess it's not really back in the day, like a couple of years ago, but she did a lot of research, and she found out their producer, Joey Moi. She was like, I think this guy needs a producer. I'll be honest, I didn't know who he was. He's from Canada, though.
Yep.
And now here I am being produced by Joey Moi and on tour with Florida Georgia Line. So my mom, I give all this credit to my mom. She knew back then.
That's pretty incredible, actually. That's a good story.
Yeah, man.
Working with Joey, what's that been like? He has worked with some heavy hitters. So
yeah, it's pretty incredible, man. Just the ear on that guy is insane. I thought that I had a decent ear for music, and he makes me feel dumb sometimes, man. He is so good at just figuring out what a song needs and bringing it all together, and it's been a pleasure to work with him. I learn from him every time. Me and him have a really good time together, so It's been awesome.
And he's a Canadian boy, so we're happy about that.
He is,
yeah. You have a single out now in the U.S., The Way I Talk. You just did it for a Mason Jar session for us, and you nailed it.
Thank you, man.
You and I talked a little bit, how acoustically that song sounds, maybe compared to being plugged in.
Yeah.
Maybe just give us a little feedback on, how you feel about that.
Yeah, well, I think any really good song should translate, maybe not just as well, but almost just as well. Maybe better sometimes acoustically, just because you kind of get to feel the words and you're not worried about all the parts of the song. I'm sure Joey would disagree with this. But to me, like you said, the campfire type thing, if you can play a song, you and your buddy playing, or even just yourself on the guitar, and people understand it and relate to it, I think that shows that you have a really good song.
It's going to hit Canadian radio very soon. What's been the feedback when you're playing that song live now that it's been out there and people are hearing it?
Yeah, man. Well, it's the first song that I've really had a substantial amount of people start singing back to me. It's last weekend was our first weekend on the Florida Georgia Line tour in the U.S. and it seemed like for every show that we played, they started to sing it louder. Which, to be fair, I was playing in my hometown on the third night, so that makes sense.
That would have been great.
But still, there was multiple thousands of people singing the song back to me, and it was the first time that's happened. So it's pretty crazy.
And the cool part about country music, I don't know, you're still fairly young, so back in the day in the rock world, you only went to watch the headliners. But that's not how it works with country music. They actually come to watch everybody.
I know, and it's great, man. It's people get there early. It's not completely packed out every time, but they're there.
Yeah.
And they're ready, so it's awesome.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for doing this. Really appreciate it. All the best of luck on the tour.
Thank you, brother.
And hope to see you soon.
All right, we'll see you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Know I'm country when they hear the way I talk. It sounds a little bit like